now, for the side of Onic Esports, they are still lacking that jungler and the XP laner for them. Balman is opened up right here. It is a really good pick, and guess what? It is going to be the Yuzong actually picked up for Boots, getting a really good dive hero to synergize well with the Aldous and also the Jawhead with Rrq Hoshi. Now that Onic Esports wants to go for the full dive composition, does Rrq Hoshi want to go for the full front to back? They already have a very sustainable frontliner in the Paquito in this Esmeralda. If they do want to go for the front to back, they'll need range. Granger is not going to be big. Actually, the Hylos coming in from the side of Rrq Hoshi, but for the jungler, is it going to be the Paquito in the jungle, or will it be Albert actually picking up a Roger or a carry?
Wow.
Oh, wow. This carry is going to go to the gold lane. It's going to be R7 playing that Esmeralda in the XP lane, and Paquito is most likely going to be played by Albert. But risky plays here from the side of RRQ. Getting Xin, that carry pick, is good, but also kind of... Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is scary, guys.
With Onyx's superior range, will carry even be a factor in this game, man? Carry, yes, she can burst down, she can melt down the frontliners coming in from the side of Onic Esports, but look at the burst damage from the Nathan, the range from Farsa. It is, I think, a bit too much for RRQ to handle. If they're able to zone away the two backliners of Onic Esports, yes, it is a good pick, but if not, it's going to be very scary.
I mean, carry is also a snack for Aldous too, so we're going to have to see, a snack. Very delicious snack, I'd like to say. So going into the compositions of both teams, I have to say I still favor Onic. I think it is well-rounded. They have the range, they have the dive composition, and they have the burst coming in from them as well. And Rrq Hoshi, it seems like they're kind of lacking in CC as well, but we're just going to have to see.
We're just going to have to see, but ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 2. Hashtag Viva RRQ or hashtag Go Onic in the chat right now to support your team and to get your team to win the hashtag battle here in the land of Dawn. I personally prefer Onic Esports' draft this time around. I feel like they're more well-rounded. I feel like they have range, they have the damage, they have the equal physical to magic damage ratio as well. But it is going to be a different strategy coming in from the side of RRQ. They're actually going to be playing for Xin in that top side, babysitting that carry.
Yep, and we're going to have to see if it actually comes down to it, if RRQ can actually... Wait, what's going on here? As actually RRQ Vin will go very aggressively onto Sans, will use that flicker to get to that too, but look at Keyboy. Keyboy will actually get eliminated there first in the first minute. So 1 point for Rrq Hoshi right now, as it seems like they are trying to get the early advantage.
Very aggressive players already coming in from the side of Rrq Hoshi. It's going to be Vin going up to the top side. CW forced to flicker away, as that's going to be Xin picking up the level 2 and maybe looking for a freeze here in the top side. But Keyboy going in for the response as well. Has already rotated to the top side. Vin going in for the stun onto CW, but Keyboy has the flicker. He might be looking for it as the sun comes in, and it's going to be the ejector used onto Keyboy. A lot of damage has been placed, but Keyboy bursts it down by Xin, and that's going to be a 1 for 0, but they're looking for more. CW, it's going to get taken down, and RRQ, man, picking up the 1,000 gold lead already. I said I didn't like their draft, but man, they're getting it in the early game.
They really are getting it in the early game, as they will be putting the gold difference up and up again over and over, and Rrq Hoshi are really showing their dominance here in the early game. But honestly, with the Jawhead on the side of Onic Esports, I thought they would have the better early game, but it seems like Rrq Hoshi will actually be the benefited one over this, as it seems like the turtle has already spawned in the Lambda Dawn. But look at Albert. Albert is getting so much damage taken to him from the side of Keyboy as well as San, so he also has to still be very careful.
Yeah, for sure. But Onic Esports now, I think that is it for them here in the early game. They need to just scale up with the heroes. And look at that, Albert going in. So much damage placed to Drian. He will pick up 2 turret shots in that process, but it's actually going to be RRQ forced to reset the turtle. Onic Esports will try to pick it back up right now, as it is going to be RRQ Hoshi completely just zone away from this turtle. R7 though already going in. Entropy being used by Sans to get some more additional damage and also to get some mobility here, as it is giving the retribution to take it away. But R7 now going in for the re-engage all the way, as Clay has already rotated as well. It is just going to be Sans walking away freely, as both teams will choose to disengage.
Yeah, but Rrq Hoshi still is in the upper edge at the moment, as it seems like it still is Rrq Hoshi leading in terms of gold. And in terms of objectives, it seems like both teams are actually at an equal, other than that turtle previously. So very, very good combinations here coming in from both Rrq Hoshi as well as Onic Esports. It seems like both teams are going to play the slow and disciplined game from now on, possibly.
Absolutely. Onic Esports already very, very ferocious right now in the early game, waiting in the bushes for something, but CW just gets completely dominated here in the top side, but Vin goes in for the stun. Xin is going to go in and pop the ultimate. A lot of damage has been placed. CW is still able to run away for now, but it is Rrq Hoshi winning in the gold lane and now pushing in that top side. They are playing for this, so Onic Esports will have to try maybe to respond via the trades or to try to go for something here, as it is going to be Xin targeted away. Aldous has already dove in, but it is going to be cancelled by CW, going in for the farm instead, getting that gold cannon minion, but Xin has a level lead on CW for now.
CW actually receiving so much pressure from Rrq Hoshi, knowing that it could be so annoying there in the late game, and they're playing this actually really, really well. And honestly, I didn't expect this coming in from Rrq Hoshi. I mean, the piloting from each of the members have just been so on point, but look at this. It seems like Boots is actually going quite aggressively onto R7. R7 needs to be very careful here, as there is Sans as well. And no, R7 will not be able to withstand the damage coming in from Onic, and he will be taken down. So the first point kill for Onic Esports.
Absolutely, but Rrq are already responding there in the top side, getting the first turret of the game and also pushing in the second, the inner turret right there. As Onic Esports just have no response. They're not even going to be able to get that turret gold in the bottom side, but now they finally can. They cut the wave, but Rrq might look for a play here in the turtle. It is going to be the turtle traded in for a turret. So one turret and one turtle traded in only for one in the bottom side.
Yes, so we're going to have to see if it actually pays them a good amount of advantage here. But yes, it will be the turtle going into the hands of Albert, and now Albert being aggressive into the jungle of Onic Esports, taking it away from CW as well as Keyboy. But now it seems like Rrq Hoshi will be rotating once again, maybe looking for a pick-off again.
Yeah, but now we are going to take a look at the items here, Arash.
Yep, you can see Jawhead actually putting up very tanky build, and Brian immediately going with a Clock of Destiny, trying to scale into that late game. Nathan already has a Hunter Strike that will help in chase and tight potential, but now big fight coming in.
Big fight coming in. The non-double force will be used, but instantly look at the disengage coming in. But it's going to be Xin picking up the kill right now, as Onic Esports will look for a trade. Both of the roamers taken down here in the 5th minute. 1,000 gold lead has been picked up by Rrq Hoshi, as they're looking for more in the mid lane, but it is just going to be a fair trade for now.
Yes, so 1-for-1 trade for the both teams here, Rrq Hoshi as well as Onic Esports, but Rrq Hoshi still sitting comfortably in that 1k gold lead, as it seems like Rrq Hoshi will be rotating towards that top area, but CW really reads that well and will be able to retreat as of right now. And now there is some rotations coming in from Onic Esports here in the middle lane, as Keyboy is already in that bush, maybe looking for a pick-off against his Lilia, but Lilia is actually going to be a very, very difficult hero to pick off, especially with the black shoes. But we're just going to have to see. It seems like Onic Esports are looking for something here in the top side, but no, they aren't going to commit into anything just yet.
Beautiful read there from the side of R7. He saw them disappearing instantly from the side of mid lane, so instantly just backing away is just a really, really good call by him. But it's going to be Rrq Hoshi picking the second turret of the game in the bottom side, and it is going to be Onic Esports actually losing out in the macro game for now. Rrq have been able to collect these turrets like cookies, but Albert going on Drian. Glorious Pathway has been used as well, forcing Drian to use the wings by wings, as CW is actually going to lose out in the trade against R7. Sans popping in that entropy, trying to get some damage done on to R7, but it is actually again Rrq Hoshi winning in the macro game in game number 2.
Yep, and now it seems like they will be setting up for this next objective, and this is something that Rrq lacked in the first game, right? They didn't have the discipline, they didn't have the drive and the objective-oriented mindset, but look at this. They're actually going for the objectives, but look at this. It seems like Drian will be caught in all the midst of it, as Boots will be trying to do something, trying to compensate for Seam, but now this is going to be a 1-4-4 situation, 1v4 situation, as Keyboy is trying to do the best as he can, but Boots gets so bursted down, and the damage coming in from Rrq, it's just too much for them to handle, as Xin is going very, very aggressively onto CW, but with the help of Sans, he will actually be able to retreat, and look at the damage coming in from Sans onto Xin as well.
Man, oh man, the damage coming in from Sans is insane already. This will mean Rrq Hoshi will need to look for something different here, right? Because if Sans and Drian are in the same fight, you know, they won that, but without Drian. I mean, without Sans, right? Yeah. They got a 4v5, actually a 4v4, but Rrq, they win without Sans in the process, and Drian actually kind of, I don't know, over-aggressive, overconfident there, as he used that Feather Airstrike without any cover, right? Rrq were just able to dive him instantly right there. So a little bit of mistake, but look at this. It's going to be Vin flickering in front. Sans gets stunned away, but Ejector coming from Keyboy will be able to save him away. Beautiful plays by Keyboy to save his jungler there, but CW goes in for the re-engage all the way to the backside. Sin is going to get taken down, and that's going to be Rrq trying to get something in return. Keyboy goes over to Ejector and the Unstoppable Force. R7 dives in to the backside, but not finding anyone in the process. Actually a really, really good pick-off by CW.
Wow, both teams are actually playing it really, really well, and that pick-off from CW was actually quite unexpected, but now Onic Esports are looking for a re-engage onto R7 as R7 gets so aggressive onto Onic, but will be able to be taken out with that beautiful flame shot in the hands of Onic, and that will be another member down taken from Rrq Hoshi.
Man, Keyboy has to be the MVP in most of the fights. He's absolutely just zoning all of the crazy dive-in members from the side of Rrq. Keyboy, you see the ejector. Paquito wants to go in, instantly ejected back. You see that Sans was caught out in a bad situation, ejector to get him out. Keyboy is the main man in these team fights that we need to keep an eye on.
Yes, definitely. As we're going to take a look here, as Onic will actually be able to take the upper hand here in the next Lord. But honestly, I want to know, 9 minutes in, what is the situation, Arashi?
Well, clearly, Onic just made a big play, but now we see R7 go for a 1v1 duel as his teammates actually set up for that Lord. And I think this will be quite critical in deciding who has more tempo here. Both teams have a clear way of actually winning this. It depends on whether or not Rrq can actually go onto those priority targets.
Thing is, it's not going to be good for the side of Rrq, as again, CW, with his ultimate, he can play the cross-map really well, whereas R7, he's going to lose out on these cross-map plays, on the macro plays. Onic Esports can just use this global ultimate to be able to control the entire map. They can keep on pushing top, but Sans gets chunked really, really low and is forced to back away. This is an opportunity for Rrq Hoshi to maybe push the pace, get some pickoffs, and go for the Lord right now. Albert is going to go and steal away the orange buff. Will this be enough to secure that Lord in the 10th minute?
Yes, and honestly, Rrq Hoshi, they don't seem to be able to do this as well as I thought they could, as we're going to take a look at the items here in the 10th minute before something might be brewing here in the Lord area, Rashi.
Sounds with the endless battle already having a lot of damage, and Aldous now serving as an okay frontline, building towards the dominance ice already on the brute force breastplate as well as the Thunderbelt. But the damage coming in from Carry with the Windtalker as well as Endless Battle, that is a lot of true damage coming in from the kit and from the Endless Battle as well. So with the Ice Queens 1 as well on Clay, they can actually make a lot of kite back plays or catch someone out with that extra bit of slow from the utility. And from the side of R7, he does have the Dominance Eyes already to try and deny any kind of shielding, any kind of regen coming in, especially from the Yuzong as well as perhaps the shielding of the Johan.
I feel like CW is just too aggressive with the ultimates. He's not holding on to it right now, but look at the damage coming from Feather Airstrike, able to zone and deal so much damage to Clay and Sin, actually forcing Clay to back away. But yeah, like I mentioned earlier before, CW with his ultimate, he hasn't been able to use this as efficiently as, I would expect. Because with this ultimate, you have the global pressure. All you need to do is wait until Onic Esports have the pressure there, use the pressure you create in the other side, and use the ultimate when Onic Esports wants to go for the Lord fight. If not, just save it. But we are going to get into a pause. Unfortunately, right now, there is a technical pause from the side of Onic Esports right here, Arashi.
Yep, and impressive to think about. If they have a technical issue right now, they've been performing really well with it, so we'll have to see. Obviously, when they're winning such a dominant game, they don't want to lose it just because of technical issues, so the pause is very much justified. They do have control, and it is on the shoulders of Onic to actually throw their own game if they want to throw such a good lead with such a dominant team comp away to a team, again, that's very adept at taking advantage of those situations, like Rrq Hoshi.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
100% agree with you. I mean, I think both teams are actually also playing this very, very well. Being able to rotate around the map extremely well with the composition that they were given. And Rrq Hoshi, this is a different Rrq as well, right? They do go in for the crazy plays, but like I said earlier, they are also playing it with the objective game. And it shows and it gives a really good balance towards their team.
For sure. I mean, there's so much potential on their team because, again, even if the engage doesn't happen and they don't make a big play, a big pickoff by Keyboy, they're still comfortable just waiting in the back lines and, poking away at the members of Rrq Hoshi with that Feather Airstrike. So, not a lot of ways for Rrq to just push the issue and try and get a fight. The only time they've been able to do that was when they actually hid in the bush, and you see Vin make a flicker stun play onto key members. But again, that isn't going to happen a lot because once Onic sees it once, they adapt really well. And I'll be surprised if I see Sans walk near any kind of bush again, knowing that, as I mentioned, whenever you go against Rrq, it's best for you to assume that the big play, the big flicker into some CC play coming from Vin is always going to come, because 99% I think it's going to come anyway. So if you're ready for it and you play like it's going to happen, you'll be out in the clear and they'll be fine.
Absolutely. Now we are going to take a look at all the players as we are going to enter the game once again right here. Back at it again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the game. It is still Rrq Hoshi with a 1,000 gold lead for now. As, again, we're back in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a feather airstrike. Oh my god! Forcing Clay to use a purple black boost, but it's going to be Keyboy actually zoned away and actually taken down by Xin. The damage from Xin is quite literally insane. And with the frontliner out of the fight instantly, it might just be Rrq picking up for free. Boost go in for the Black Dragon. Further damage just comes in, and Xin is able to burst him down. Petrified, able to connect. That's going to be kills being picked up by Albert and the Lord as well. Sans now caught in the midst of everything, trying to cut away. 1v5. Sans gets a double. Holy! But Xin will shut him down, and Onic Esports will actually find a turret in the top side.
They will actually find a turret in the top side, as it seems like CW will be actually rotating towards a different area now and playing it really, really well. But look at Albert. Albert is not in a bad situation. There is R7 to back him up, and honestly, CW needs to be very, very careful now, as the communication coming in from Rrq Hoshi has also been very, very on point. And what a game, what a team fight there in that previous.
Guys, you just unpaused, you just resumed. Wow. What was that? Instant fights coming in from the side of Rrq using that. Wow, okay. I guess the resume button is also a war button right here, because Rrq already placing their, positioning very aggressively here. Keyboy though, so smart in these type of situations, is able to read it. And Drian, he has the feather. He doesn't have the feather airstrike actually. And Sans will be hauled out. It's gonna be Finn getting a stun, and that's gonna be knockout strike coming in. Sans gets bursted down, and Rrq finds another 2 picks on the board, and that's gonna be the inner turret taken down for free. Rrq pushing the pace here in the 13th minute of the game, getting the turret in the mid lane, and also the inhibitor turret. Drian forced to back away. Furious dive dodged away by R7, and they might be looking for the end right here. 20 seconds on the death timers for Sans as CW rotates in, tries to go in for the dive, but Albert is right there to cover up.
Wow, amazing plays coming in from Rrq Hoshi right now. The feather airstrike has to come in just to zone the members away. And again, this is Rrq Hoshi picking up the pace, pushing this to a 4K gold lead in the 13th minute. And honestly, I'm curious about the items. What have they gotten so far? But before we get into that, let's take a look at the hashtag battle, as it will still be hashtag Go Onic. So different from game number 1, it is hashtag Go Onic. So guys, don't forget to support your teams as well. Is it hashtag Go Onic or is it hashtag Viva Rrq, as we take a look at the items here in the 14th minute?
Right off the bat, you see Sans have the Wind of Nature to try and negate some of that big burst damage coming in from Albert, because again, he already has the 2 core items as well as the Hunter Strike to actually do a lot of damage, itemizing now more towards the defensively. But Clay has the glowing one as well as the Ice Queen's one. So a lot of damage coming in from Clay here. He actually moves up very aggressively and goes back with the black shoes. But again, he does a lot of damage, especially because with 3 tanky members on the side of Onic Esports, that glowing one is a very valuable pickup, and I think it's a great itemization choice.
Very, very great itemization choice right there. But Arashi, player gold presented to you by Livin by Mandiri. Xin taking it by a landslide right now. 10,000 gold lead as CW now in a 1v1 against R7. Rrq will look to get something done, but CW actually zone away instantly. It is going to be him canceling away his ultimate. Vin has rotated to the top side. Look at that. It's going to be the Glorious Pathway going in, and that's going to be a lot of damage placed. R7 gets a falling timer on the 2. A lot of damage has been placed again. The comeback is not real for the side of Onic Esports, as they are able to zone Rrq Hoshi away, but they lose out on the pressure in the map.
Did you see the ferocity coming in from R7? He didn't care. He just goes in. Shots fired there against a 5-man comp here. It's so scary, honestly, Rrq Hoshi as of right now. As we take a look at the damage dealt statistics as well, it will be 2 members, Sans as well as Drian. They're taking the top damage dealt. But look at that. Albert also very aggressive. But honestly, with this Paquito, this is something that he actually can do, but he has to be very, very careful, because Onic Esports will be there to capitalize on it if he does make a mistake.
Yeah, Albert on this Paquito, very, very lethal. Always at that full stack capacity. 10 seconds left for the Lord right now. 9 seconds left as we are just moments away from the Lord to come back. Rose Gold Meteor has been completed by Xin, so giving him additional magic defense. But wait a minute. Onic Esports, they're gonna go in for some damage here, unable to get anything done, but it's gonna be for the airstrike, zoning away the members from Rrq Hoshi away. Sans will be able to pick this purple buff up right here, and Lord has already been hit by Rrq, has already been started. It is gonna be CW looking to dive into the backside. Remember, Rrq instantly disengaging, resetting. CW not able to use that ultimate to dive completely, and that is gonna be R7 actually losing out in that top side, because now he has to go up. He needs to match that wave, as Onic Esports will have a slight advantage here because CW will most probably be in the team fight sooner.
Yeah, he will be able to just dive in with his ultimate. So really, really interesting plays here coming in from Onic Esports, being able to play the macro game against Rrq Hoshi. And look at this, it seems like Sans will already be putting the wait a minute, it seems like CW is caught in a bad situation. R7 as well, Xin is there to put a lot of damage onto him, but Xin needs to be careful as well because the kite is just coming into clutch and CW has nowhere to escape and will be caught out in the Land of Dawn. And one member down, Rrq Hoshi is putting up the pace. Keyboy is actually the next target, and who else will it be but no, Rrq Hoshi playing the discipline game here in game number 2. They don't want to make the same mistake as game number 1 as they look towards taking this Lord.
Man, super smart by Rrq. They saw Onic Esports trying to go for the split push, instantly just go. You know what? This guy is just so annoying. Let's get the Aldous right before the fight. We know that Onic Esports can't take this right now. We have the pressure, and we have enough pressure to be able to withstand that. Go in instantly. Xin rotates to the top side, gets the kill, and now Rrq are in the lead with 7,000 gold in their back pocket. Getting the Lord, Enhanced Lord as well, is going to be huge right now.
Yes, it will definitely be huge as R7 goes very, very aggressively onto the members of Onic Esports, and he has to be careful because the kiting capacity coming in from Sans is also very, very huge. I mean, we're already entering minute number 18, and this is when the power spikes are also popping up from the side of Onic Esports. CW will get more scary, especially going towards the late game, and they have to be careful. But look, as the Enhanced Lord will be marching down there in the top lane.
Yeah, Rrq again, 7,000 gold lead. They are going to look for the end right now. Glorious Pathway has been popped. A lot of damage is going to go out for the airstrike as well. R7 popping in the falling star move. Will he go in for it? Nope, no time, as that's going to be Onic Esports able to disengage and able to get that Enhanced Lord. Defense pretty good right there. Enhanced Lord will fall, and even though Rrq went in for the 3 waves, Onic Esports just have very, very good high ground, very good defense. Rrq seems like they can't go for the sieges against Onic Esports. What they need to do is bait some team fights outside of that base.
Well, with that Lord, actually, we were able to actually pick up 1 inhibitor turret, so not as bleak as you would mention, but again, with this composition, they can't really match the high ground presence coming in from Drian, so they do have to try and bait them out, or actually play for that split push and try and pressure multiple waves at once. Flameshot, they're trying to secure the orange buff as well, but Xin will be able to secure it. And as we look at the items, you see how tanky Bin is getting with all these tank items. He is the main frontline, and he does have to flicker up, so I think Rrq will be soon looking for a big play, but knowing how smart they are, they're going to wait until there's a clear objective on the map. And looking at Xin's items, knowing that he has a lot of damage already built into his kit, 2 damage items and 3 technically defensive items, including the Thunderbelt. So a lot of the combo with the Thunderbelt and the Endless Battle does a lot of damage and gives a lot of utility. And that extra bit of security allows him to actually go toe-to-toe against CW, even going to that late game, but only to a certain point, because once he has enough stacks, that really, I think, won't matter as much. And we have to see, I think both teams have a really good chance of actually making the big play and getting the catch on someone else, but Rrq is just better at just using the map and making the sneaky plays the same way Evos did against Onic, and we saw that that is a point where Onic isn't really as adept as these other teams in this current league.
Yeah, but Rrq actually, they're just trying to build up a slow push here for every single wave. The mid lane, the bottom side, and also the top side all being slowly pushed up by this team. Getting this really, really well. Actually just wasting time. Just making Onic Esports sweat for the minion waves in the mid lane. And Rrq, man, they're using this to get some pressure back to like basically just deny until the Lord comes back up. As Albert now will look to clear the waves. Exactly, the slow pushes are working out for the side of Rrq. They are going to try to keep on pushing in, but it's going to be the stun coming onto CW. CW. A lot of bursts coming in from the side of Xin. But again, Keyboy with the clutch ejector, able to get CW out of that one. 40 seconds for the Enhanced Lord as Rrq Hoshi now still sitting at a 6,000 gold lead. Onic Esports, though, they're looking for the comeback play. Black Dragon form now, looking for an engage all the way to the backside. Unstoppable Force as well. A lot of dive potential. Xin gets caught out of the midst of everything. It's going to be CW jumping in and getting the kill. Onic Esports, they're looking for something right now. It's Rrq. They've lost their main damage dealer in the late game. Vin, force to flicker away. It's going to be Clay, force to flicker away as well. And that's going to be 2 kills picked up for the price of none. Rrq have no answers for that full dive composition for the side of Onic Esports. Xin will need the win of nature here in the late game.
Wow, they just turned that around for themselves as Onic Esports actually managed to take a lot of pickoffs across the board on Rrq Hoshi, and really amazing plays and an MVP for Keyboy, man. He was able to save so many of his teammates over and over. CW not getting picked off earlier on, and that is just crazy plays coming in from Onic Esports, as it will be them now having the space and having the momentum to take this next Enhanced Lord.
Man, dude, Onic Esports with their composition, they're able to dive so well. And again, Xin just has no answer to that. He doesn't have the flicker. He chose to go for the Purify this game. He doesn't have the win of nature. So CW, once you're able to burn it all around, once CW gets to you, it's basically almost a one-shot.
Yep, and in that fight though, even though it's one-sided, you see that for the most part, Onic used all of their battle spells in that engagement, so it's still a very costly win for them. We'll see if they can actually find the same success again and again, because if they go with the same pattern, they might just win the game. Xin taking very low here.
Yeah, Xin already taken very low, and the inhibitor turret, no, the inner turret will be taken down most probably by the side of Onic Esports, getting everything down. It is actually the comeback from the side of Onic Esports. The 6,000 gold lead has been turned. Ladies and gentlemen, Onic Esports now with their own gold lead, pushing in with the Enhanced Lord in the top side. It looks like it is going to be the same thing happening here in game number 2. It is going to be a close game. 22 minutes already as R7 tries to clear the waves. It is going to be the Enhanced Lord taking down that top side turret. Feather Airstrike has been used to zone the members from the side of Rrq out of there. The ejector will connect, but only to his own teammate. Falling Sun Window to the backside is going to be able to catch Sans in the process. Stun comes up as well. A lot of damage, and that's going to be Sans picked off. Look at the damage coming in. Ejector will be able to dodge away from Vin, but Rrq have picked up the source of damage from the side of Onic Esports. Drian no longer has this Feather Airstrike, and that's going to be Rrq looking for the play. Feather Airstrike not ready, as the Falling Star will be able to connect onto CW. Xin now trying to chase down CW, as the damage is just so insane from this man. The damage comes in. Xin trying to dodge away, but the Feather Airstrike will be able to zone them away right here, Eterna.
Yes, we'll be able to zone them away, but it will be Rrq actually pushing the tempo, being able to take this next inhibitor turret. And what can Keyboy do at this stage, as Rrq is re-showing their dominance, showing their fangs here in the 23rd minute. But guys, in that previous team fight, oh my god, the initiation coming in from Rrq Hoshi and the communication as well as the synergy was so on point. The Falling Star move connected onto 3 members from the side of Onic Esports. The response coming from was just so huge, but look at this! Boost actually gets caught in a bad situation, will be taken down, and another point coming in from Rrq Hoshi, and this is not looking good. But meanwhile, it seems like the minions are pushing into the base of Rrq Hoshi, so that will be R7 busy in that area. So there are only 4 members from the side of Rrq Hoshi, and I don't think that will be enough to do much as of right now.
They need to look for a kill right now where Boots is dead, alright? If they're able to get just one more pick, it'll be huge for them coming into the next stages of the game, because Rrq, they're losing out on the macro plays, man. Onic Esports getting every single inhibitor turret except for the bottom side. It is basically dead equal in the center for both of the teams. Rrq with a 1,000 gold lead, but at this point, man, everyone is at full items. The gold lead doesn't matter anymore, Arashi.
Yep, and here, I think what will matter is the playmaking potential coming in from Rrq, because again, they are the ones who actually set up these traps, and they have been actually successful in catching out Sans multiple times, despite the fact that their main engage tool is a Hylas. It really shouldn't be this easy, but in that fight, Sans got picked off, and they're gonna look to replicate the same success, and they're setting up yet another trap. And you know, as I mentioned, Onic needs to play as if this is gonna happen, because again, most likely it is gonna happen against Rrq Hoshi. So we'll have to see. Drian has been very diligent in checking these bushes with the Feather Airstrike, but now that it's down, we'll have to see 30 seconds on that Lord, and for sure, both teams will want to try and contest control over that area, and that is where Rrq will find a moment to strike, because now Vin has no flicker, but it's going to be up quite soon in 30 seconds.
Arashi, the damage is just unreal from this Pharsa. Divine Glaive and a Genius Wand adding more penetration into this Pharsa. Man, you just see his ultimate with 2 shots, able to take half HP away from Vin. Imagine if that connects onto Xin. Imagine if that connects onto Clay. I'm pretty sure Clay is going to get completely just 1 shot. Even with the Athena, I think it might just 1-shot him, man.
It might just happen. That's why it's so dangerous to let Drian have this Farsa. And again, the long-range potential just is another layer of actually advantage, because again, you don't have to get that close to actually do all this damage. But now Vin is actually kind of zone Keyboy, but they now know that the Lord is being, attempted by Rrq Hoshi.
Again, Onic Esports with this global map pressure. Aldous is just going to be able to completely just play in that side lane. R7 using the Falling Star Moon to go onto the minions, unable to get down. Entropy is down though, as Xin again is just trying to solo this. But remember, last time they tried to do this, Xin, so easy, so vulnerable in the team fights. Aldous can just select him, and honestly, you can't really cover for him if you don't have a Kufra, right? If you don't have someone using the bouncing ball, just canceling that dive, who's there to protect him? Xin doesn't have the win of nature, so it is again gonna be a 1-shot. The longer this game goes, the higher the damage is gonna come in from this Aldous. He's been stacking, man.
He's been stacking all the whole time. He's been on the on the side lane alone. So that is why the Aldous pick is so annoying, because it puts the pressure on the opposing team to try and end the game. Because if the game keeps going on, it'll be fine unless there'll be a mistake again. Because as we saw earlier, 70 seconds on the death timers, and now at 26 minutes, approaching 27 minutes, it's gonna be about 75, 80 minutes. 80 seconds on the death timers, and that is not a situation that any team can deal with as of right now.
For sure. Rrq again pushing in this mid lane. It is going to be Keyboy rotating and pushing in as well, opening up the map for his team, and Albert is the one who has to match this Aldous, because again, they need this pressure from R7. It seems like Albert just doesn't do enough damage in these skirmishes anymore, because he has fallen off. But look at that, CW already rotating, instantly cancel because Xin is here now. But CW can easily turn this around. If they have enough damage here, it is going to be Sans also rotating to the top side. Everyone seems to be rotating, but Sans actually goes in for the entropy very aggressively. Very, very scary there if you're an Onic fan, because your jungler just went in. Remember, Sans doesn't really have a lot of defensive items, maybe even no defensive. Does he have a defensive item, Arashi?
I think he has the Wind of Nature, if I'm not mistaken. So now, again, the fact is that when they're in rotations like this, when there's a lot of movement on the map, that is where Rrq Hoshi can find mistakes, can find opportunities to strike, and they will take it immediately. Now, 2 members of Onic Esports going to the top side. There's a chance for... as I mentioned, that Predator airstrike scouts in the bush, and I'm not sure if Onyx catches, that information. We'll see.
28 minutes in. Remember, 1 death, 80 seconds on that death timer. It is going to be Rrq Hoshi hitting on this Lord, Enhanced Lord here in the 28 minutes. Very, very tanky as it scales with time. But look at that already. Very aggressive plays coming in from Onic Esports. Going in for the backside right there. R7 forced to use the Falling Star Moon. No damage just yet. Injection will be able to bring him back, but it's going to be actually CW zoning all the other members. He's going to try to look for a dive. But the airstrike has been popped. R7 will still be able to tank away, but Sans goes in for the entropy. A lot of them. But Sans maybe in a caught in the bad situation right now. Skiway goes in for the ejector all the way to the backside. Boost will look for the petrify as well, but it's not going to be able to connect right now. The stun connects, but Sin is still able to kind of win. Boost is going to be sliding. But look at the damage from Sans, able to take Xin down, and that is going to be the kill. Not Xin, but Vin, and he is going to get taken down. A double kill picked up on the side of Onic Esports as they're looking to end the game perhaps with this push. 2 for the price of 1 as they are going to look for the Lord.
2 for the price of 1, as it seems like discipline will always be #1 on their plate, as it seems like Onic Esports will be rotating towards that area. But look at this Keyboy being able to actually zone out the members coming in from Rrq Hoshi. But look at CW. The movements as well as the damage. 1 hit brings down R7 to half health, and that is crazy damage. Imagine that on the Xin. So this is looking very, very scary now from Onic Esports, as look at that, using entropy very, very aggressively onto the movements of Rrq, as it will be Albert trying to do what he can, trying to shut down the lanes there, as it will be Sans being the target of it all. But oh my god, the damage coming in from Onic Esports is just too much. Albert will not be able to do anything, as Winter Traction does come into clutch. We'll be able to buy a little bit of more time, but unfortunately not enough to do anything of much damage here, Mirko.
For the airstrike being used to zone away the members. Falling Star will now being used as well by R7 to zone away the members of Onic Esports, as he's going to look for a dive. Instantly cancel away. R7 still buying so much time, but is able to run away again. The defense coming from Rrq Hoshi. Will they be able to do it again? As the minion waves on the top side. Little damage coming in. Xin trying to clear it away from the target. And that's going to be Onic Esports taking game #2. 2 games in a row for the side of Onic Esports right now. And Rrq just have no answer answer. They seem to get the early game, man, but but Onic Esports, their composition just scales so much better with the Aldous, with the Nathan, and that Farsa. Huge damage output.
2-0 and huge damage output coming in from Onic Esports.